In the ravaged expanse of the galactic battlefield, a lone figure emerged from the smoke-shrouded horizon. The interstellar Speak-Hail Forces-style commando, clad in battered and scarred armor, moved with a purposeful stride, their eyes scanning the ruins for any sign of enemy movement. Their name was Nova, and they were the last surviving member of an elite Special Forces unit that had been deployed to the distant planet of Tartarus IV. The mission had been a disaster from the start, with the Draxarian forces ambushing the Erath Federation of planets' dropships and decimating the bulk of the invasion force. Nova had managed to survive the initial onslaught, but the subsequent days had been a blur of constant fighting, scavenging for supplies, and desperate attempts to regroup with any other surviving Erath Federation of planets' personnel. As they navigated the treacherous terrain, Nova's thoughts turned to their fallen comrades and the futility of their mission. The Draxarian was too strong, too well entrenched, and the Erath Federation of planets was too weak, too divided. But Nova refused to give up. They had a job to do, and they would see it through to the end, no matter the cost. Suddenly, Nova's motion tracker flared to life, indicating a large group of Draxarian forces closing in on their position. Nova's grip on their assault rifle tightened, and they prepared to make a final stand. The battle was fierce and intense, with plasma bolts and assault rifle rounds tearing through the air. Nova fought with every ounce of strength they possessed, taking down elite after elite, but the Draxarian forces seemed endless. Just when it seemed like all was lost, Nova heard the distant rumble of thunder, and the sky lit up with a brilliant flash of light. A Erath Federation of planets frigate, the embarked, had arrived on the scene, its Mach gun blazing as it tore through the Draxarian fleet. The Draxarian forces on the ground were quickly routed, and Nova took advantage of the reprieve to fall back and regroup with the frigate's surviving crew. As they boarded the ship, Nova felt a sense of relief wash over them. They had made it out alive, against all odds. But as they looked back at the devastated planet, Nova knew that this was far from over. The war would go on, and they would be called upon to fight again. Nova steeled themselves for the battles to come, knowing that they would face even greater challenges in the days ahead, but they were ready. For the Erath Federation of planets, for humanity, and for their fellow soldiers, Nova would never give up. As the embarked broke through the Draxarian blockade, Nova felt a mix of emotions: relief, exhaustion, and a hint of hope. They had made it out of Tartarus IV alive, but at what cost? The frigate's captain, a grizzled veteran named Cutter, greeted Nova warmly. "Glad to have you aboard, Chief," he said, his voice firm but weary. "We've got a long way to go before we're safe." Nova nodded, taking in the damage to the ship. The hull was scarred, the engines were sputtering, and the crew was battered and bruised. But they were alive, and that's all that mattered. As the ship limped towards the safety of Erath Federation of planets space, Nova couldn't shake the feeling that they were far from done. The Draxarian would not take kindly to their defeat, and Nova knew that they would be coming for them soon. The days passed in a blur of repairs, debriefings, and strategy sessions. Nova was hailed as a hero, but they knew that they were just one part of a much larger machine. And then, just as they were starting to feel like they might finally get some rest, the ship's sensors picked up a strange energy signature. It was faint, but it was definitely there. Nova's instincts kicked in, and they knew that they had to investigate. They assembled a team of Marines, and together they set out to track down the source of the signal. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, Nova couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into a trap. but they pressed on, driven by a sense of duty and a need to uncover the truth. And then, just as they were starting to think that they were on a wild goose chase, they stumbled upon something that made their blood run cold. A Draxarian ship, hidden deep in the asteroid field, and on its hull, a message that made Nova's heart sink. Inkunaki technology detected. Prepare for activation. Nova knew that they had stumbled into something much bigger than themselves. The Draxarian was after something that could change the course of the war. And Nova knew that they had to stop them. Nova's team moved stealthily through the asteroid field, their eyes fixed on the Draxarian ship. They knew that they had to act fast, before the Draxarian could activate the Inkunaki technology. As they approached the ship, Nova could feel their heart racing. They knew that this was it, the moment of truth. Suddenly, the ship's engines roared to life, and it began to move. Nova's team exchanged worried glances. They knew that they had to act fast, or risk losing their chance to stop the Draxarian. Nova gave a curt nod, and the team sprang into action. They moved swiftly and silently, using their knowledge of the asteroid field to evade the Draxarian's defenses. As they boarded the ship, Nova's team was met with fierce resistance. The Draxarian warriors were well-trained and well-armed, but Nova's team was determined. They fought their way through the ship, taking out Draxarian warriors left and right. Nova's rifle was hot in their hands, but they didn't stop to think about it. They just kept moving, driven by their mission to stop the Draxarian. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, they reached the ship's core. Nova's team exchanged tense glances. This was it, the moment of truth. Nova took a deep breath, and then they burst into the core. The room was filled with Draxarian warriors, but Nova's team didn't hesitate. They opened fire, taking out the warriors with swift efficiency. As the last warrior fell, Nova's team turned to face the Inkunaki technology. It was a massive device, pulsing with energy. Nova's eyes narrowed. They knew that they had to destroy the device, but they also knew that it wouldn't be easy. Suddenly, a voice spoke up behind them. "You'll never stop us," it said. Nova's team turned to face the speaker. It was a Draxarian elite, its armor scarred and battered. "We'll see about that," Nova said, their rifle at the ready. The elite sneered, but Nova could see the fear in its eyes. It knew that it was beaten. With a swift motion, Nova took out the elite, and then they turned to face the Inkunaki technology. "It's time to end this," Nova said, their voice firm. With a burst of fire, the device exploded. Nova's team stumbled back, shielding their eyes from the blast. As the dust settled, Nova's team turned to face each other. They had done it. They had stopped the Draxarian. But as they turned to leave, Nova's eyes fell on something that made their blood run cold. A Inkunaki ship, emerging from the depths of space. Nova's team exchanged worried glances. They knew that they had just stumbled into something much bigger than themselves. The war was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. As Nova's team explored the Draxarian ship, they stumbled upon a mysterious Inkunaki device. The device emitted a strange energy signature that seemed to be calling to Nova. Suddenly, the ship's AI, the AI construct, crackled to life. "Nova, I'm reading a significant energy spike from the device. I think it's trying to activate something." Nova's instincts kicked in, and they knew they had to act fast. "Team, we need to shut down that device now!" The team sprang into action, but as they approached the device, they were met with fierce resistance from Draxarian warriors. The battle intensifies. Draxarian warriors, elite, brute, and jackal warriors swarm the area, trying to protect the device. Nova's team, armed with assault rifles and grenades, they fight to reach the device. The AI construct provides tactical support, hacking into the ship's systems to disable Draxxarian defenses. As the battle rages on, Nova's team manages to reach the device. But just as they're about to shut it down, a massive Draxxarian ship emerges from the depths of space, threatening to destroy the entire area. The ship's shields faltered, and its hull began to breach. Nova's team stumbled back, shielding their eyes from the intense light. As the energy surge dissipated, the Draxxarian ship drifted, crippled and powerless. Nova's team cheered, relieved that the immediate threat had been neutralized, but their celebration was short-lived. The AI construct's voice crackled over the comms system, her tone urgent. "Nova, I'm reading a massive energy signature building up in the nearby asteroid field. It's off the charts." Nova's instincts kicked in. "Team, we need to get out of here, now!" As they turned to leave, the asteroid field erupted in a blaze of light and energy. A massive Inkunaki ship emerged from the heart of the explosion, its hull glowing with an otherworldly energy. The ship's presence seemed to warp the very fabric of space-time, causing distortions and gravitational waves that rocked the Draxxarian ship and sent Nova's team stumbling. Nova's eyes widened as they stared at the Inkunaki ship in awe. "What in the—" they breathed. The AI construct's voice was laced with a mix of wonder and trepidation. "Nova, I think we're looking at a ship from the Inkunaki era. This changes everything." As the Inkunaki ship loomed large, its intentions unknown, Nova's team stood frozen, unsure of what to do next. The AI construct, however, was undaunted. "I'll try to establish a connection," she said, her digital form flickering with activity. As the AI construct worked her magic, Nova's team waited anxiously. The Inkunaki ship loomed before them, its presence both captivating and terrifying. Suddenly, the AI construct's voice crackled over the comms system. "I've got a connection. The Inkunaki ship is responding to our hail." Nova's team cheered, relieved that they might be able to resolve this encounter peacefully. But as the AI construct began to translate the Inkunaki ship's response, Nova's team realized that they were in for a surprise. The Inkunaki ship was not just a simple vessel. It was a key part of an ancient network, a web of interconnected ships and artifacts that spanned the galaxy. And the Inkunaki ship had a message for Nova's team, a message that would change the course of human history forever. "The Inkunaki ship is calling itself the Keeper," the AI construct said. "It claims to possess knowledge and technology from the Inkunaki era, and it's offering to share this information with humanity." Nova's eyes widened as they listened to the AI construct's words. This was a game-changer. The Inkunakis were an ancient, advanced civilization that had left behind only ruins and artifacts. If the Keeper was genuine, it could hold the key to unlocking humanity's future. But as Nova's team listened to the Keeper's message, they began to realize that there was more to the story. The Keeper was not just a simple vessel. It was a gateway to a much larger network of Inkunaki ships and artifacts. And the Keeper had a warning for humanity. The Draxxarian was not the only threat to humanity's existence. There were other, more ancient powers stirring in the depths of space, powers that could destroy humanity in an instant. The Keeper's message ended with a cryptic warning. "The Devourer of Stars comes. Prepare yourselves, humanity." Nova's team exchanged nervous glances. What did the Keeper's message mean? And what was the Devourer of Stars? The AI construct, with her advanced language skills, took the lead in the negotiations. "We appreciate the Keeper's warning," she said, "but we need more information about the Devourer of Stars. What is it? And how can we prepare ourselves?" The Keeper's response was enigmatic. "The Devourer of Stars is a power beyond your understanding," it said. "But we can offer you a gift, a Inkunaki artifact that will grant you the power to defend yourselves against the Devourer." Nova's team exchanged skeptical glances. What kind of artifact could possibly grant them the power to defend against such a powerful enemy? But the AI construct was undeterred. "We'll take it," she said, "but we need to know more about the artifact and how it works." The Keeper's response was cryptic. "The artifact is a shield world," it said. "It will protect you from the Devourer's power, but it will also change you in ways you cannot imagine." Nova's team was unsure what to make of the Keeper's words, but they knew they had to act fast before the Devourer of Stars arrived. The Keeper transferred the artifact to the Erath Federation of Planets ship, and Nova's team began to study it. The artifact was a small, crystalline object that pulsed with a strange, blue energy. As they studied the artifact, Nova's team began to experience strange visions and dreams. They saw images of ancient civilizations and of powerful technologies that defied understanding. The AI construct, who had been analyzing the artifact's energy signature, suddenly looked up with a concerned expression. "Nova, I think I've figured out what this artifact does," she said. "It's not just a shield world. It's a gateway to a parallel universe." Nova's eyes widened in shock. "A parallel universe," they repeated. "What do you mean?" The AI construct's expression was grim. "I mean that this artifact can transport us to a universe where the laws of physics are different, where the Draxarian doesn't exist, where humanity can start anew." Nova's team was stunned. They had never heard of such a thing. But as they looked at each other, they knew that they had to try it. They had to take the chance to save humanity. The AI construct, with her advanced analytical capabilities, took the lead in the study. She ran countless simulations, analyzed the artifact's energy signature, and consulted with the ship's AI. As they studied the artifact, Nova's team began to uncover some disturbing facts. The artifact was not just a simple gateway to a parallel universe. It was a complex device that had been designed to manipulate the very fabric of space-time. The AI construct's expression was grim as she presented her findings to Nova's team. "This artifact is not a solution to our problems," she said. "It's a Pandora's box. If we activate it, we could unleash unforeseen consequences on the universe." Nova's team was stunned. They had been so focused on finding a way to escape the Draxarian that they had not considered the potential risks of the artifact. But as they deliberated, they knew that they had to make a decision quickly. The Draxarian was closing in, and they were running out of time. The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Inkunaki technology, took the lead in the modification effort. She worked tirelessly, using her analytical capabilities to identify potential risks and develop strategies to mitigate them. As they worked, Nova's team encountered numerous challenges. The artifact's technology was far more advanced than anything they had seen before, and they struggled to understand its underlying principles. Despite the challenges, the AI construct and Nova's team persisted. They knew that they had to find a way to make the artifact safe, or risk unleashing unforeseen consequences on the universe. Finally, after hours of intense work, the AI construct looked up with a mixture of exhaustion and triumph. "I think I've done it," she said. "I've modified the artifact to reduce the risks associated with its activation." Nova's team cheered, relieved that they had found a way to make the artifact safe. But as they prepared to activate it, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were taking a huge risk. The AI construct set up a complex simulation, using the ship's advanced computer systems to model the artifact's behavior. The simulation was so realistic that it was almost indistinguishable from reality. As they ran the simulation, Nova's team watched anxiously. The artifact's energy signature fluctuated wildly, causing distortions in the space-time continuum. But to their relief, the simulation showed that the AI construct's modifications were effective. The artifact's energy signature stabilized, and the distortions in space-time began to dissipate. Nova's team cheered, feeling a sense of hope that they had not felt in weeks. Maybe, just maybe, they had found a way to escape the Draxarians' clutches. But as they celebrated, the AI construct's expression turned serious. "We're not out of the woods yet," she said. "The simulation was just that, a simulation. We still need to test the artifact in real life." Nova's team nodded, knowing that the AI construct was right. They had to be sure that the artifact would work as intended, or risk everything. The AI construct set up a series of tests, using the ship's advanced sensors and scanning technology to gather as much data as possible. As they ran the tests, Nova's team began to notice something strange. The artifact seemed to be emitting a faint energy signature, one that was not visible to the naked eye. The AI construct's expression turned curious. "I think I've found something," she said. "The artifact is emitting a quantum resonance frequency, one that is identical to the frequency emitted by the Inkunaki structures we've encountered before." Nova's team exchanged excited glances. This could be the break they were looking for. "What does it mean?" Nova asked, their voice barely above a whisper. The AI construct's expression turned thoughtful. "I think it means that the artifact is more than just a simple device. It's a key, one that could unlock the secrets of the Inkunakis themselves." The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Inkunaki technology, took the lead in the effort. She carefully calibrated the artifact, using the quantum resonance frequency to synchronize it with the Inkunaki structures they had encountered before. As they worked, Nova's team could feel the energy building up around them. The artifact began to glow with an intense blue light, and the air seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly power. Suddenly, the artifact emitted a blinding flash of light, and Nova's team felt themselves being pulled through space and time. When the light faded, Nova's team found themselves standing in a vast, underground chamber filled with ancient Inkunaki technology. The AI construct's eyes widened in awe as she gazed upon the ancient artifacts. "This is it," she breathed. "This is the secrets of the Inkunakis." Nova's team began to explore the chamber, marveling at the ancient technology and trying to learn as much as they could. But as they delved deeper into the chamber, they began to realize that they were not alone. As they delved deeper into the chamber, they stumbled upon a series of ancient consoles covered in mysterious symbols and glyphs. The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Inkunaki language, began to decipher the symbols, unlocking a wealth of information about the Inkunaki's history and technology. Meanwhile, Nova and the rest of the team explored the chamber, discovering ancient artifacts and relics that held secrets of the Inkunaki's past. They found evidence of the Inkunakis' advanced technology, including ancient ships, weapons, and other devices that defied understanding. As they explored, Nova's team began to piece together the history of the Inkunakis, learning about their rise and fall, and the secrets they had left behind. But as they delved deeper into the chamber, they began to realize that they were not alone. They heard whispers and echoes, faint signs of life that seemed to come from all around them. Suddenly, the chamber was filled with a blinding light, and Nova's team felt themselves being lifted off the ground. As the light faded, Nova's team found themselves face to face with a being unlike any they had ever seen. It was tall and slender, with skin that seemed to shift and change color like the shadows on a moonlit night. The being spoke to them in a language that was both familiar and yet completely alien. The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Inkunaki language, was able to decipher the being's words. "We are the guardians of the Inkunaka's legacy," the being said. "And you, Nova's team, are the first humans to ever set foot in this sacred place." The being went on to explain that the Inkunakis had left behind a vast network of ancient technology, hidden throughout the galaxy, and that Nova's team had stumbled upon a key part of this network. "We will give you a choice," the being said. "You may either use this technology to help humanity, or you may leave it behind and never speak of it again." Nova's team looked at each other, weighing their options. The being nodded its head in approval. "Then let us begin," it said. The being led Nova's team to a large, crystal-like structure in the center of the room. The structure began to glow with a soft, blue light, and Nova's team could feel a strange energy emanating from it. "This is a Inkunaki database," the being explained. "It contains the collective knowledge of the Inkunakis, including their technology, history, and culture." The being handed Nova a small, crystal-like object. "This is a neural interface," it said. "It will allow you to access the database and learn from the Inkunaki's knowledge." Nova took the neural interface and held it up to their forehead. Suddenly, they were flooded with visions and information as the Inkunaki database opened up to them. Nova's team watched in awe as Nova's eyes scanned back and forth, taking in the vast amount of knowledge. "What do you see?" the AI construct asked, her voice full of curiosity. Nova's eyes snapped back into focus, and they turned to the AI construct with a look of wonder. "I see the secrets of the universe," they said. "I see the technology that can help us defeat the Draxarian and bring peace to humanity." Nova's team cheered as Nova's eyes shone with excitement. But as they celebrated, a warning voice echoed in Nova's mind. "Remember, with great power comes great responsibility," it said. With the knowledge gained from the Inkunaki database, Nova's team set to work on developing a new generation of advanced weaponry and technology. The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Inkunaki technology, took the lead in the development effort. She worked tirelessly, using the knowledge from the database to design and build new ships, weapons, and other technologies. As the days passed, Nova's team made rapid progress. They developed advanced ships that could outrun and outgun the Draxarian's best vessels. They created powerful new weapons that could destroy entire Draxarian fleets. And they developed advanced technologies that could help humanity to rebuild and recover from the devastating effects of the war. But as Nova's team worked to develop these new technologies, they knew that they were not the only ones who were aware of the Inkunaki database. The Draxarian, too, had learned of the database's existence, and they would stop at nothing to claim its secrets for themselves. "We must be careful," the AI construct warned. "The Draxarian will do everything in their power to get their hands on this technology. We must be prepared to defend ourselves." Nova's team nodded in agreement. They knew that they were on the brink of a major breakthrough, one that could change the course of the war forever. But they also knew that they were not the only ones who were aware of the Inkunaki database's existence. The AI construct, with her advanced knowledge of Draxarian tactics and strategy, took the lead in planning the attack. She worked tirelessly, using her advanced algorithms and simulations to identify the Draxarians' most vulnerable targets. Meanwhile, Nova and the rest of the team prepared for battle, loading up on ammunition and fuel and running through final checks on their ships and equipment. As they prepared to launch the attack, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone calm and confident. "All right, team, this is it. Let's go out there and show the Draxarian what we're made of." With a fierce cry, Nova's team launched themselves into battle, screaming through the skies in their advanced ships, guns blazing as they tore into the Draxarians' defenses. The battle was intense, with both sides trading blows and neither gaining the upper hand. But Nova's team had one advantage: the Inkunaki technology. Using the advanced ships and weapons they had developed, Nova's team was able to gain the upper hand, slowly but surely pushing the Draxarian back. As the battle raged on, Nova's team began to gain confidence. They were winning, and they knew it. But just as they were about to deliver the final blow, a massive Draxarian ship emerged from the depths of space, its guns blazing as it tore into Nova's team. "All right, team, let's show them what we're made of," Nova shouted, their voice echoing through the comms system. The team responded with a fierce cry, charging forward in their advanced ships. The Draxarian ship, a massive and imposing vessel, loomed before them, its guns blazing with deadly precision. The battle was intense, with both sides trading blows and neither gaining the upper hand. Nova's team fought with every ounce of skill and determination they possessed, but the Draxarian ship seemed almost invulnerable to their attacks. Just when it seemed like the Draxarian ship was about to emerge victorious, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone calm and confident. "Nova, I've found a weakness in the Draxarian ship's defenses. If we can hit it just right, we can take it down." Nova's eyes narrowed, their mind racing with the possibilities. "Where is it?" they asked, their voice tight with excitement. "It's a small opening on the ship's port side," the AI construct replied. "But we'll have to be quick and precise if we're going to hit it." Nova nodded, their heart racing with anticipation. "All right, team, let's do this!" With a fierce cry, Nova's team launched themselves at the Draxarian ship, determined to take it down and emerge victorious. Nova's ship, the Star battlecruiser's Edge, led the charge, its advanced sensors and targeting systems locked onto the weak point. The ship's guns blazed with precision, firing a concentrated burst of energy at the Draxarian ship's port side. The Draxarian ship's shields flared, trying to absorb the impact, but Nova's team had calculated the shot perfectly. The energy burst pierced the shields, striking the weak point with devastating force. The Draxarian ship shuddered, its hull breaching as the energy burst ripped through its internal systems. The ship's engines failed, causing it to plummet towards the nearby planet. Nova's team cheered, their voices echoing through the comms system. "We did it!" Nova shouted, their heart racing with excitement. "We took down the Draxarian ship!" The AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone calm and professional. "Well done, team. But we're not out of the woods yet. We need to assess the damage and make sure the Draxarian ship is completely neutralized." Nova nodded, their mind racing with the implications of their victory. "Agreed, the AI construct. Let's get to work." As Nova's team began to assess the damage and neutralize the Draxarian ship, they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had taken down a powerful Draxarian ship and had dealt a significant blow to the enemy. But as they celebrated their victory, they knew that the war was far from over. The Draxarian would not take this defeat lightly, and would likely launch a counterattack soon. As they boarded the ship, they were met with an eerie silence. The Draxarian ship's interior was dark and foreboding, with twisted, organic-looking corridors and chambers. Nova's team moved cautiously, their guns at the ready. They knew that the Draxarian ship could still be crawling with enemy forces, even if it was badly damaged. As they searched the ship, they stumbled upon a large, dimly lit chamber filled with rows of Draxarian consoles and data terminals. The AI construct's eyes lit up as she began to scan the consoles, searching for valuable intelligence. "Guys, I've got something here," the AI construct said, her voice filled with excitement. "It's a Draxarian database, filled with information on their military operations, ship designs, and, oh my, this is big." The AI construct's eyes widened as she continued to scan the database. "It's a map of the Draxarians' entire military network. We could use this to plan a series of devastating attacks against the Draxarian and potentially turn the tide of the war." Nova's team cheered, their voices echoing through the chamber. They knew that this discovery could be a game-changer in the war against the Draxarian. But as they celebrated, they were suddenly interrupted by a loud, ominous voice. "You should not have come here," the voice growled. Nova's team turned to see a group of Draxarian elites, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly energy. The AI construct quickly got to work, using her advanced knowledge of Draxarian technology to access the elite's systems. She worked rapidly, her fingers flying across the console as she typed in lines of code. Meanwhile, Nova and the rest of the team kept a wary eye on the Draxarian elites, who were growing increasingly agitated as they realized what was happening. Suddenly, the AI construct looked up from the console, a triumphant smile on her face. "I've got it," she said. "I've hacked into the elite's systems, and I can disable them remotely." With a few swift keystrokes, the AI construct sent a command to the elite's systems, disabling their shields and rendering them vulnerable to attack. The Draxarian elites let out a chorus of angry roars as they realized what had happened. But it was too late. Nova's team quickly took advantage of the situation, launching a swift and decisive attack that took down the elites. As the dust settled, Nova's team let out a cheer. They had won a major victory and had gained a significant advantage in the war against the Draxarian. But as they celebrated, the AI construct's expression turned serious. "We can't stay here for long," she said. "The Draxarian will send more forces to investigate what happened. We need to get back to the Star Battle Cruiser and report our findings to Admiral Osman." Nova nodded in agreement. "You're right, the AI construct. Let's get moving." As they made their way back to the Star Battle Cruiser, the AI construct began to analyze the data they had retrieved from the Draxarian ship. She worked rapidly, her advanced algorithms and simulations allowing her to quickly process the vast amounts of data. Meanwhile, Nova and the rest of the team took a moment to rest and reflect on their mission. They had accomplished a great deal and had gained a significant advantage in the war against the Draxarian. When they arrived back at the Star Battle Cruiser, Admiral Osman was waiting for them in the ship's briefing room. She looked at them with a mixture of curiosity and concern. "Welcome back, Nova's team," she said. "I hear you've had a successful mission, but I also hear that you've stirred up a hornet's nest. The Draxarian is going to be looking for revenge, and we need to be prepared." Nova nodded in agreement. "Yes, Admiral. We've retrieved a significant amount of intelligence from the Draxarian ship, including a map of their military network. We believe this could be a game-changer in the war." Admiral Osman's eyes narrowed. "I want to see this intelligence for myself. The AI construct. Can you brief me on what you found?" The AI construct nodded and began to present her findings to Admiral Osman. As she spoke, Nova and the rest of the team listened intently, knowing that the fate of humanity hung in the balance. "Admiral, The database we retrieved contains a wealth of information on the Draxarians' military operations, the AI construct explained. We've got details on their ship designs, troop deployments, and even their plans for future attacks. Admiral Osman's eyes widened as she listened to the AI construct's briefing. "This is incredible," she said. "With this information, we can finally start to gain the upper hand against the Draxarian." The AI construct nodded in agreement. "Yes, Admiral, but we need to be careful. The Draxarian will stop at nothing to get their hands on this information, and we can't let that happen." Admiral Osman nodded, her expression serious. "I agree. We'll need to take steps to protect this information and make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands." As the AI construct finished her briefing, Admiral Osman turned to Nova and the rest of the team. "Well done, team," she said. "You've done an incredible job retrieving this intelligence. Now let's get to work on using it to our advantage." Nova and the rest of the team nodded, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. They knew that they had done something important, and that their actions would have a significant impact on the war against the Draxarian. As they left the briefing room, the AI construct turned to Nova and whispered, "You know, Nova, this is just the beginning. We've got a long road ahead of us, but with this intelligence, I think we can finally start to turn the tide of the war." Nova nodded in agreement, a sense of determination and purpose burning within them. Admiral Osman nodded in agreement. "We can't let this intelligence fall into Draxarian hands," she said. "We need to make sure it's stored safely and securely." The AI construct nodded, her advanced algorithms and simulations already working on a plan to protect the intelligence. "I've already begun to implement additional security measures, Admiral," she said. "But I recommend that we take it a step further and store the intelligence in a secure off-site location." Admiral Osman nodded, her expression serious. "Agreed. Let's get the intelligence to a safe location and make sure it's protected." Nova's team quickly got to work, transferring the intelligence to a secure off-site location and implementing additional security measures to protect it. As they worked, the AI construct's advanced sensors and monitoring systems kept a watchful eye out for any signs of Draxarian activity or attempts to breach the security measures. After several tense hours, the intelligence was finally secure, stored in a heavily fortified location with multiple layers of security and protection. Nova's team let out a collective sigh of relief as they finished their work. They knew that they had done everything they could to protect the intelligence and prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. But as they stood back to admire their handiwork, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. "Nova's team, we've got a problem," she said. "I've detected Draxarian activity in the area. They're heading straight for our location." "All right, team, let's gear up and get ready to take out those Draxarian forces," Nova said, their voice firm and resolute. The AI construct nodded, her advanced sensors and monitoring systems already tracking the Draxarian forces' movements. "I've got the Draxarian forces' location locked in, Nova. We can take them out with a precision strike." Nova's team quickly got to work, preparing their ships and equipment for the upcoming battle. As they worked, the AI construct continued to monitor the Draxarian forces' movements, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Finally, the moment arrived. The AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone calm and confident. "Nova's team, this is the AI construct. The Draxarian forces are in position. Let's take them out." With a fierce cry, Nova's team launched themselves into battle, their ships screaming through the skies as they tore into the Draxarian forces. The battle was intense, with both sides trading blows and neither gaining the upper hand. But Nova's team had one advantage: the AI construct's advanced sensors and monitoring systems. With the AI construct's guidance, Nova's team was able to outmaneuver the Draxarian forces, taking them out with precision strikes. As the dust settled, Nova's team let out a collective cheer. They had won a major victory and had dealt a significant blow to the Draxarians' military operations. But as they celebrated, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. "Nova's team, we've got a problem. The Draxarian forces were just a diversion. There's something much bigger coming our way. Do you want to A. Prepare to defend against the incoming threat? B. Attempt to gather more information about the incoming threat? C. Launch a preemptive strike against the incoming threat?" The AI construct, "What can you tell us about the incoming threat?" Nova asked, their voice firm and resolute. The AI construct's advanced sensors and monitoring systems quickly went to work, gathering as much information as possible about the incoming threat. After a few tense moments, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. "Nova's team, I've managed to gather some information about the incoming threat," the AI construct said. "It appears to be a Draxarian fleet, led by a powerful and highly advanced Draxarian ship. The ship is known as the Devourer of Worlds, and it's rumored to have the power to destroy entire planets." Nova's team exchanged worried glances. They knew that they were in for a tough fight. "What's the estimated time of arrival for the Draxarian fleet?" Nova asked, their voice firm and resolute. The AI construct's advanced sensors and monitoring systems quickly provided an answer. "The Draxarian fleet is estimated to arrive in approximately 30 minutes, the AI construct said. Nova's team nodded, their minds racing with strategies and plans. They knew that they had to act fast if they were going to have any chance of defeating the Draxarian fleet. Do you want to A. Prepare to defend against the Draxarian fleet? B. Attempt to launch a preemptive strike against the Draxarian fleet? C. Try to come up with a clever strategy to outmaneuver the Draxarian fleet." "All right, team, let's think outside the box here," Nova said, their voice firm and resolute. "We can't take on the Draxarian fleet head-on, but maybe we can find a way to outsmart them." The AI construct nodded, her advanced algorithms and simulations already working on a plan. "I think I might have an idea, Nova," she said. "What if we use the planet's terrain to our advantage? We could lure the Draxarian fleet into a trap, using the planet's mountains and valleys to limit their movement and expose them to our attacks." Nova's team nodded, their minds racing with the possibilities. They quickly got to work, using the AI construct's plan to set up a series of ambushes and traps for the Draxarian fleet. As the Draxarian fleet arrived, Nova's team was ready. They launched a series of surprise attacks, using the planet's terrain to their advantage. The Draxarian fleet was quickly thrown into disarray, their ships struggling to navigate the treacherous terrain. Nova's team took advantage of the Draxarians' confusion, launching a series of devastating attacks that quickly took out several of the Draxarian ships. The Draxarian fleet was quickly faltering, their numbers dwindling as Nova's team continued to press the attack. But just as it seemed like the battle was won, a massive Draxarian ship emerged from the depths of space. It was the Devourer of Worlds, the Draxarians' most powerful ship. Do you want to A. Engage the Devourer of Worlds in a fierce battle? B. Attempt to outmaneuver the Devourer of Worlds and catch it off guard? C. Use the planet's terrain to launch a surprise attack on the Devourer of Worlds. The AI construct quickly worked out a plan, using her advanced sensors and monitoring systems to identify a weak point in the Devourer of Worlds' defenses. "All right, team, here's the plan," the AI construct said, her voice firm and resolute. "We'll use the planet's mountains to our advantage, launching a surprise attack on the Devourer of Worlds from behind. We'll target their weak point, a vulnerable spot in their shields, and try to take them out quickly." Nova's team nodded, their minds racing with the possibilities. They quickly got to work, using the planet's terrain to sneak up on the Devourer of Worlds. As they launched their attack, the Devourer of Worlds was caught off guard. Nova's team quickly took out the ship's shields and then launched a devastating attack on the ship's vulnerable core. The Devourer of Worlds let out a massive explosion, its hull breaching as it plummeted towards the planet's surface. Nova's team cheered, their voices echoing through the comms system. But as they celebrated their victory, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. "Nova's team, we're not out of the woods yet. The Draxarian is likely to send even more forces to avenge the loss of the Devourer of Worlds. We need to get out of here, and fast. Do you want to A. Retreat to the Erath Federation of Planets, star battlecruiser, and prepare for a potential Draxarian counterattack? B. Launch a series of hit-and-run attacks against the Draxarian's remaining forces in the system. C. Attempt to gather more intelligence on the Draxarian's plans and operations." "All right, team. Let's keep the pressure on the Draxarian," Nova said, their voice firm and resolute. "We'll launch a series of quick, precise attacks against their remaining forces, and then get out before they can regroup and counterattack." The AI construct nodded, her advanced sensors and monitoring systems already tracking the Draxarian's remaining forces. "I've identified several key targets, Nova," she said. "We can take out their command ship, their fuel depot, and their main barracks. That should give them a significant setback." Nova's team nodded, their minds racing with the possibilities. They quickly got to work, launching a series of swift and deadly attacks against the Draxarian's remaining forces. The Draxarian was caught off guard, their forces reeling from the sudden and unexpected attacks. Nova's team took advantage of the Draxarian's confusion, quickly taking out their key targets and then retreating before the Draxarian could regroup and counterattack. As they retreated, the AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. "Nova's team, we've got a problem. The Draxarian is regrouping and preparing to launch a counterattack. We need to get out of here, and fast." Nova's team nodded, their hearts racing with anticipation. They knew that they had to move quickly if they were going to escape the Draxarian's counterattack. "Do you want to A. Make a break for the Erath Federation of Planets star battlecruiser, hoping to outrun the Draxarian's counterattack? B. Attempt to take out the Draxarian's command ship, hoping to disrupt their counterattack? C. Try to find a safe place to hide, hoping to avoid the Draxarian's counterattack." "All right, team, let's take out their command ship," Nova said, their voice firm and resolute. "If we can take out their command structure, we can disrupt their counterattack and give ourselves a chance to escape." The AI construct nodded, her advanced sensors and monitoring systems already tracking the Draxarian's command ship. "I've got the command ship's location locked in, Nova," she said. "It's heavily guarded, but I think we can take it out with a precision strike." Nova's team nodded, their minds racing with the possibilities. They quickly got to work, launching a precision strike against the Draxarian's command ship. The Draxarian's command ship was caught off guard, its defenses breached by Nova's team's precision strike. The ship let out a massive explosion, its hull breaching as it plummeted towards the planet's surface. The Draxarian's counterattack was thrown into disarray, their forces reeling from the loss of their command ship. Nova's team took advantage of the Draxarian's confusion, making a break for the Erath Federation of Planets star battlecruiser. As they retreated, The AI construct's voice came over the comms system, her tone serious and urgent. Nova's team, we're not out of the woods yet. The Draxarian is still pursuing us, and we need to get back to the Star Battle Cruiser and prepare for a potential battle. Nova's team nodded, their hearts racing with anticipation. They knew that they had to move quickly if they were going to escape the Draxarian's pursuit. "All right, team, let's move," the captain said, his voice firm and resolute. "We need to get back to the Star Battle Cruiser and prepare for a potential battle." The AI construct nodded, her advanced sensors and monitoring systems already tracking the Draxarian's pursuing forces. "I've got the Star Battle Cruiser's location locked in, Nova," she said. "We're about 5 kilometers out. We can make it if we move fast." Nova's team nodded, their hearts racing with anticipation. They quickly got to work, pushing their ships to the limit as they sprinted towards the Star Battle Cruiser. The Draxarian's pursuing forces were hot on their heels, but Nova's team refused to give up. They flew with precision and skill, dodging and weaving through the asteroid field as they desperately tried to reach the safety of the Star Battle Cruiser. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Nova's team saw the Star Battle Cruiser's familiar shape looming in the distance. They let out a collective sigh of relief as they flew towards the ship, their hearts filled with gratitude and relief. As they docked their ships and stepped out onto the Star Battle Cruiser's deck, Nova's team was greeted by the familiar face of Admiral Osman. "Well done, Nova's team," she said, her voice filled with pride and admiration. "You've done an incredible job out there. Now let's get to work and prepare for the battle ahead." Nova's team nodded, their hearts still racing with excitement and anticipation. They knew that the battle ahead would be fierce and intense, but they were ready. They were a team, and together they could face anything. Please give us a like and share this story. Your liking our story and sharing it really helps the algorithm push us out. Thank you again, and see you on the dark side of the fire.